Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge.
Friday the 13th. So before we started this pod, my sister was always saying that you need to make episodes too. And it felt like a long way going. I did not feel comfortable listening to my own voice. And I felt really stiff standing in front of the microphone. But this week that we spent together, we recorded a lot of episodes. We finished all the Tony Robbins that we had left. And actually, I started feeling better and more comfortable standing here in front of the microphone. So I thought that I would record the first episode. I'm not sure if it's going to be released as the first, but I wanted to record the first episode with just me. So, growing up, I've always been interested in the mystical and the things that are mysterious in the world. And as Friday the 13th was coming, and today is Friday the 13th, I couldn't resist. I said, I want to make that episode. I wanted to find out a little bit more about the history of Friday the 13th. And so, here comes some of the research that I've done. Friday the 13th are for some considered to be a day of bad luck. But I have always thought of it as the opposite. I don't know if it was just because I want to do the opposite of everybody else, but I've always thought of it as a day of good luck. But I'm also the kind of person that walks underneath the ladders, and I'm very fond of black cats. Fridays are usually considered a good day because it's the last day of the work week, and it's also the last day before the weekend starts. So why is it that just the 13th combined with a Friday? Why is that considered to be a day of bad luck? Well, some say that superstition of unlucky Friday the 13th comes from the fact that there were 13 people attending the Last Supper with Christ on Maundy Thursday, the night before Christ's crucifixion on the Good Friday. They said also that Judas, the treacherous disciple, was the last one of the guests to sit down at the table. But the folklore historian Donald Duzzy tracks it back to a Norse myth of 12 gods having dinner, and the trickster god Loki arrived as the 13th guest, and he arranged for her to shoot Balder with a mistletoe-tipped arrow. Also, in 1307, on the Friday the 13th, the French king gave the orders to arrest hundreds of Knight Templars in France. Did you know that the fair of Friday the 13th is called, okay, this is going to be slow, but Frigatriskaidekaphobia. Or, it has a second name also, it's called Paraskevidekatriaphobia. And if you're being afraid of Friday the 13th, you are actually not alone. This phobia with two names actually affects millions of people and companies around the world, and especially the airlines suffer a severe loss on Friday the 13th. All years have at least one Friday the 13th, but some years have three. This year, 2021, there's only going to be one, and that's Friday the 13th in August. Today. When a year begins with a Thursday, there will be 3 Friday the 13th, and they'll be in February, March, and November. This will happen 11 times in the 21st century, and some of them were 2009, 2015, and then there will be 2026, 2037, and 2043. Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense, was born on August 13, 1899. So Friday the 13th, 1999, would have been his 100th birthday. A cool fact is that I was actually in Los Angeles doing a film internship that day, and I got to go to when they celebrated Hitchcock on his birthday. And during that time, I got to meet Janet Leigh, and I got her autograph, which is kind of cool. I do love Alfred Hitchcock movies, and I love suspense. This was some cool facts for me. He did his directorial debut in 1922 with a movie called Number 13. Wasn't a success though. But in Italy, it's not Friday the 13th, but actually Friday the 17th that is considered bad luck. And in some Spanish-speaking countries and Greece, it is actually Tuesday the 13th that is supposed to be unlucky. But statistics from accidents and hospital records show that Friday the 13th is not more frequently unlucky than any other day. So in tarot, the 13th card is death, and that usually means the rebirth of some kind. So it usually means the death of something or a situation or a cycle, and then after that comes a rebirth. And the 13th chapter of Revelation of the Bible is reserved to the Antichrist and the Beast. I think that some of the hotels actually skip the 13th floor altogether because not a lot of people want to live on the 13th floor. But just so you know, on Friday the 13th, 2029, it'll be a very lucky day because that's the day when the asteroid 99942 Apophis will fly by Earth and not collide with it. But what I'm saying is, people think of Friday the 13th as a day of bad luck. But what if you thought about it differently? What if you changed that and thought about it as a day of good luck? And not just Friday the 13th. You can do it about any day in your life. It's just a matter of changing your perspective. And if you let Friday the 13th decide that anything bad happens on that day is the fault of Friday the 13th, you assume the victim, and you take away your own power as being in control of your own destiny. So, this was just a fun episode with some facts about Friday the 13th. And a lot of my episode will be researching, and I will be explaining, and I will try to make sense of both the spiritual gifts, the ascension process, and I will try to make ways of easier incorporating it in your life. And until next time, keep learning, keep living, keep laughing, follow your dream, and live your passion.
This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.